Welcome back to Afternoon Express, where we did offer you and promise you so much more music. Now, after a very insightful conversation with Mandisi Dyantyis earlier on in the show, we also sit down with the people who help make this exceptional music experience happen. From a saxophonist to a bass player and, of course, the serenading piano backed by an excellent drummer. Let's find out exactly what it takes to synthesize an expert's performance. Welcome to The Loft, gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, Mandisi, you're saying that this is just one of your favorite moments, having your gents come up with you and have a conversation around music. I mean, first of all, can you introduce each player and the dynamic that you guys have?
Yeah, it is a special moment for me because often people can think that you're the only one who's creating this music, whereas I don't. You know, it's because of the generosity of the gentlemen that are sitting in this room that we sound the way we do.
Yeah.
You know, we've got Mr. Buddy Wells on saxophone, Blake Hallaby on piano, Lumanya Nomzi on drums, and that's Steve D'Souza, Stivovo Abandwana, bass. Yeah.
Oh, that is so beautiful. And how does the creative process look like? I mean, from you, Mr. Mzi, how does the collaboration, the coming together of the artistic piece that you guys bring?
Well, I play drums in the band, and you know, the great thing about us coming together and playing together is that everyone plays a role. You know, this is the first band actually where, you know, as you know, drummers keep time. You know,
yes.
And this is the first band where, you know, I'm able to actually explore outside of that, where I'm actually melodically become a part of the band, and you know, so in terms of collaborating, there's yeah, it's beautiful in that sense, I'd say. Yeah.
And do you think it's more of a workshopped effort where one person might start and lead, and then someone just randomly pops in and adds a little ta-ta, ta-ta, and I do not have the jargon that you were speaking about earlier. I mean, I'm going to go with ta-ta, and do you guys kind of feed in from there, or do you come in with the game plan and you know exactly how you're going to kind of hit, what kind of feel you want the song to have?
I mean, generally Mandisi has a very broad outline. Like, so he'll give us a piece of paper with like scribbles on. I'm like, is this a C or a G? I can't, you know, and he goes, you decide. You know, I mean, and so, you know, what's really cool, and what to elaborate on what Unity was saying, is that Mandisi allows a lot for us. He goes, here's the story, here's what I want to get across, and then how can we do that? And there's so much room for us to create in the moment, and then once it's fixed, we don't really change that much. We're not trying to be a jazz band necessarily in the sense that, oh, we do whatever we want every time. You know, we found freedom in construction, I think.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that part of it.
Absolutely. So well said. And as a saxophonist, I mean, how do you attack each performance and what do you bring to the table? Because I'm sure it's different engaging with a corporate audience, or whether you're taking people on a spiritual journey with your music. And how do you kind of add your 2 cents to the band?
Every band is different, so it brings with a different energy. So you can feed off that energy as a musician.
Yeah.
And then, of course, playing in different environments, like if you're playing at a party, you're contributing something different to at a concert. So I really enjoy being different, you know, having a different role to play at different performances.
I love that.
So it just keeps it fresh.
And speaking of performances, I mean, Stivovo, if you don't mind me just also taking on that nickname, what has been your favorite performance of all time? I mean, you've definitely traveled from Singapore, Ireland, USA. What stands out for you?
Okay, so, well, recently we just went up to the Grahamstown Jazz Festival there, and we performed with Mandisi, and that was a heartwarming performance because people were in tears. People traveled from PE, from Cape Town to Grahamstown just to see us. And people were in tears. People had their lighters and their phone torches out waving with us. Yeah, I would say that was one of the most beautiful performances, well, recently that I've done.
And I think it's that touching of souls that makes it so rewarding for you gentlemen to kind of look out. Yes, you are on an elevated stage and there is a distance between you and the crowd, but I'm sure it's that vibe, it's that feeling, it's that emotion that you connect with, and you kind of saying, yeah, this is why I do what I do. I mean, for you, Mandisi, coming together as a band, how did you collaborate? How did you find each individual, or were they already established and you kind of plugged in where you could?
It's musicians that I respect, first of all, and it's musicians that inspire me. You know, so what happens is that we didn't have to rehearse a lot. You know, you'll get good musicians that will not get your story.
Oh,
you know, so they're brilliant musicians, but they just don't get your story. These guys get my story. You know, he's right. Blake is right when he says, I just put a piece of scribbled paper, you know, and tell them my story or where I'm coming from with a piece of music. And they take it and they embrace it and they make it theirs. It's the most selfless thing that anyone can do for you, you know. So every time we meet, every time we share a bandstand, there's a contribution, an emotional contribution to the, you know, that they have, you know, on the music. So their story becomes mine, my story becomes theirs, you know, and it doesn't happen often. So that's why for me, it's all I always say it in a bandstand, that is it's pure bliss, just sharing a stage with these guys.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Now, don't miss out on an electrifying performance by Mandisi along with his live band. See you after the break.